Good morning everyone, welcome to ukulele lesson number 1. Over the next few weeks we're going to be learning some new chords on the ukulele. We're going to be learning how to play the ukulele correctly. We're going to look at some compositions, we're going to look at some jams, and most importantly learning some songs, okay? So let's get started. First of all, I want to talk about the correct technique for holding the ukulele. So I want you sat upright, nice and straight. I want the big part of the body of the ukulele sat nicely on the top of your leg. I want the back of the ukulele placed against probably your stomach, or it might be towards your chest. And then the ukulele should be on like a slant, on a diagonal going upwards, okay, towards the top of your roof. Right. With your left hand, we've got our fingers. So we've got a thumb, and we've got fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4. These are the fingers that we're going to play the ukulele notes with, okay? The thumb, when you hold it, you want the ukulele to rest nicely in between your thumb and your first finger. It just wants to rest nicely there. Your thumb can be held very loosely at the back here. It does not want to be tight. It's really hard to play chords or any notes of the ukulele if you're gripping the ukulele. You always want to be relaxed, okay? So nice and loose there. And your arm wants to be at a horizontal angle coming away from the ukulele's neck, okay? So they're the correct positions. Make sure you're set up tall. Today we're going to be looking at the A minor, okay? So we have 4 strings. We have our first string, which is our string closest to our toes. And then we have our second string, third string, and our fourth string, which is closest to our nose. So first string, second string, third string, and fourth string. Okay? Off we go. So I want you all now to play the second string. Okay, now play the first string. Now play the fourth string. Second string. First string. Third string. Fourth string. Good. I hope you've got that. You can pause the video at any time. Repeat this until you get it correct, okay? So, today we're looking at the A minor chord. Now, as I said before, we're going to be using our fingers 1, 2, 3, and 4 to play our notes. Our notes are played by putting our fingers on the different frets on the fretboard. The frets are these gold bars or silver bars that you have going vertically down your neck. You can see you've probably got about 12 to 15 on your ukulele, okay? Now, when you put your fingers on these frets, they create different notes. What do you notice about the sound of the different notes as I move up the fretboard? That's right, they get higher. And what do you notice about the sound of the different notes when I go down the fretboard? That's right, they get lower, okay? And this is how the different sounds are formed on the ukulele, by playing these different notes, by putting our fingers on the different frets on the fretboard. So the first chord we're going to learn today is our A minor. Now, gone too far. Now with our A minor, we want to get our second finger. So we've got our thumb, first finger, second finger. And make sure you use this finger, because if you don't, the next chord we come to learn will be really, really difficult for you. However, if you learn this technique correctly today, then the next chord will be really easy for you to play, okay? So please use your second finger and don't use your first finger, even though you will be tempted to. So get your second finger. And then we need to count on our fourth string, so that's the string closest to our nose, 2 frets long. So the first fret is between the white bit and the first gold bar going down. So that's our first fret, and the second fret is between that first fret and the second fret. So 1, 2. Now you want to be putting your finger before the actual fret. You do not want to have your finger on top of the fret. So you want to go before, almost in the middle of the first and second fret. If you don't do that, you will get a buzzy sound if you play it on top of the fret. It's a really not nice sound, okay? So in between the first and the second fret. So you want to put your finger on there. Now, when you do, your finger wants to be hooked, like it wants to curve round. And we do that so we don't catch any of the other strings, okay? So you can have a look round. Is your finger curved? Is it between the first and the second string? I'm having a look around. I can see that it isn't catching any of the other strings and my finger is firmly pushing down that string, okay? And then you can play your note. Now with our right hand, what we want to do, there's 3 ways of playing. The first one is you can simply get your thumb and you can go from your nose to your toes, playing every single string on the way down. This is called a strum. Okay, I'm going to play 4. You have a go at playing 4. My turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, I reckon there's a few of you out there that have got a really quite muffled sound. It might sound like this. Rather than... Okay. And that's probably because you aren't pushing your finger, your second finger, down hard enough on the string. You should push it down hard enough so that it makes a line. You'll see a line running across your finger, okay? And it may even hurt a little bit at first, okay? But if you do not press down hard enough, then it will not make a nice sound. It'll make a rather than a. Okay. Now the great thing about practicing the ukulele is, after about 4 or 5 days, if you keep playing this every single day for 5 to 10 minutes, you won't have any pain in that finger whatsoever. That line will become slimmer and your finger will harden so you can play this chord with ease, okay? So that's the first thing I want you to do. Have a go. Let's have another practice to see if we can get that sounding really nice. We're going to do another 4, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Now, you might want to pause the video and keep having a go at that again and again on your own until you sound out the chord really nicely without it making a little buzz and without you catching the strings and making sure that your finger is okay. Now, if you've got that, then feel free to move on, okay? So, what we're going to look at now is how we can make playing this chord a little bit more interesting, okay? Because now we can play the chord, it's going to be really dull if we're just sat here going, okay? We want to create some interest in it. So the first thing we've got to do is we're going to look at the different beats we can play. So first of all, we've got the downstrokes, okay? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the way we can play this, we can either, like you've been doing before, is get your thumb and go from your nose to your toes, playing down every single string. The second thing we could do is you can get your thumb and your first finger, you can join them together so that they push back on each other. You can feel them not being able to move because you're applying pressure to both of them. And then you're going to use your nail on both your first finger and your thumb when we do upstrokes, but at the moment, your first finger, to play down. And you want to try and make sure you hit every single string. So I'll have a go at this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Your turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Okay? Now, you can hear the difference in sound. If you use your thumb, we have... It's quite a nice melodic sound, and you might want to play using that at certain times. And if you use your finger with your thumb, you might You can hear that it's quite, it's a lot more tinny, less melodic. We can use that for sharper strums, okay? And this is the strum that I usually use quite a lot, okay? Because it allows you to quickly move between different chords. So I'm going to be using this one. Feel free to use the thumb if you want to, okay? And the last thing you can do is, if you've got one at home, is use a pick or a plectrum. And you want to hold it fairly near the end of the tip, and the same grip that we had before with our finger and our thumb. And then again, put your A minor on, and you can go one. Okay, and you can have a practice at all of those. Okay, now, if you don't have a pick, it really doesn't matter for this video and for these series of videos. I'm not going to use one. I'm going to use the thumb and the finger technique. Okay, so we've got our downstrokes, and our downstrokes means going from our nose down to our toes and hitting all 4 strings.